and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Osaka, Japan, Kiyoshi.
On a night when we will present, for the first time ever, a one-on-one lethal lockdown rules match as Kevin Nash meets Samoa Joe in the weapons-filled six sides of steel cage for a spot in King of the Mountain. We open Impact with an X Division tag team matchup.
His tag team partner is from Tehran, Iran. He is the Middle Eastern Nightmare, Sheikh Abdul Bashir.
The Sheik and Kiyoshi have recently joined forces in an effort to further both their anti-American stance as well as their standing in TNA. To strengthen their cause, we have also seen Kiyoshi and Bashir aligned as of late with the British invasion. And when you take into account the manpower and the numbers involved, when you add Brutus Magnus, Doug Williams, and the muscle man Rob Terry to these two, this foreign invasion, that's a group that cannot be taken lightly.
You know, the sad thing, Mike, today is if you could get to know Bashir and Kiyoshi like I've gotten to know these two guys and understand what it is they're all about, you might even be sympathetic to their cause. This unity they have is going to be super strong.
Their opponents first from the City of Angels, Daniel.
Oh, he may have come up just short last week in that very competitive King of the Mountain qualifier against AJ Styles, but then Daniels had to deal with a surprise attack from Shane Douglas, who, as it turns out, not even on the TNA roster, but the franchise definitely left his mark.
And his tag team partner is the TNA X Division champion, Suicide.
Oh, you never know when or where the masked man of mystery will appear in the Impact Zone, but we do know the X Division champion will need to be elusive at Slammiversary.
He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. Suicide, come alive, take the pain.
Well, for the first time ever at Slammiversary, there will be two King of the Mountain matches, and Suicide's going to have to defend his title in the first ever X Division title King of the Mountain matchup, where he'll be taking on Jay Lethal, Consequences Creed, and of course, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley of the Motor City Machine Guns.
And boy, that's where it gets interesting. As Don said, not only Mick Foley's TNA World title defense, a King of the Mountain match at Slammiversary, but unprecedented, the X Division title up for grabs. The four challengers that you mentioned, that's where the test comes into play, because it's not only two tag teams, Lethal Consequences and the Motor City Machine Guns, but it's four men who are absolutely consumed with revealing the identity of Suicide.
But the bottom line is when the title's on the line, you'll see how loyal people actually become, and I mean, they become not so loyal, because what they'll do is they'll do whatever they can, and if it means screwing your own partner to end up being the X Division champion, they'll do it. The beauty of it is, for Suicide, in my opinion, he doesn't have to depend on anybody.
Powerful gut wrench by Daniels leads to the tag, and the high-risk leg drop off the top. Guillotine style by Suicide. And Don, are you finally convinced, once and for all, for the very last time, that Suicide is not Daniel?
Mike, today, you have got to get over this obsession that you've got with Suicide and Daniel. I mean, it's going to eat you alive if it's all you think about. Obviously, look at them. It's two different people. Why would you think otherwise? My God, Mike, let it
Obsession
go.
that I've got after everything that I've put up with for you for the past couple of months, when it comes to how positive you were that it really was Daniels as Suicide. Now you're going to turn it around on me?
If that's the way you see it, then obviously you're still obsessed with it. Let's go back to the action in the ring as you see Kiyoshi taking control of the situation.
Turn that around in a hurry as Kiyoshi takes Suicide up into the air, drops him down. The follow-up move is a perfectly placed kick, and then the cover leads to a near fall.
Well, you can see right here Kiyoshi kind of taking control as he backs in and lets Bashir tag him. I'll tell you something, Mike. I mentioned at the beginning, these two guys are really bonding, and they're bonding for a common cause. And it's like I said, so many times people just accept things for what they believe, and they don't know the real history behind something. They've never sat down and talked to Bashir. Nope, they never sat down and talked to Kiyoshi to find out what this is really all about. And if you did, if you sat down with these two guys like I do many, many times a week, you'll understand what it is they're all about and the cause that they're fighting.
Well, I mean, this is your opportunity. This is your chance to enlighten all of us about what's going on between the years when it comes to the Sheik, Kiyoshi, the British invasion, now that you're such tight buddies with them.
Well, the bottom line is they're disrespected here in TNA. They're looked at as outsiders. They're never given any kind of a chance or any kind of respect. And by bonding together, there's strength in numbers, and they're able to use that for their benefit.
Nice takeover by the X Division title holder as Suicide turns it around quickly on Kiyoshi. That X Division King of the Mountain title match upcoming at Slammiversary in Detroit to feature the appearance of Detroit Tigers all-star outfielder Curtis Granderson. Yes, he will be a part of Slammiversary, and among other things, he's going to be in charge of holding on to that championship belt for the King of the Mountain match. Watch Daniels unleash the offense.
As you see Daniels, who's obviously not Suicide, taking control of this situation. My God, I'm so excited about Curtis Granderson coming out, one of the bright young stars in Major League Baseball today. This guy has all the tools, power, speed, defense. He's incredible. He's going to be out here joining us, and I'll tell you what, this is the guy we'll be talking about in Major League Baseball for many, many years to come.
All just a part of our big 7-year anniversary event at the Palace of Auburn Hills, and now Daniel's going to turn it around on both the Sheik and Kiyoshi. Motions to his partner Suicide, and they are really working on all cylinders now.
Well, the two of them working together, as you can see, Suicide, who's obviously not Daniels, able to get Kiyoshi on top of his shoulder.
We've got that figured out.
Oh, finally?
Yeah,
Man.
roll through. Suicide gonna set the table. Moonsault back. Daniels the cover. Daniels the 2 count before the Sheik drops the elbow.
Tell you what, sheer time match to the last second, as that was close. But the bottom line is Kiyoshi knows he can trust Bashir to have his back, as Bashir was there to break it up.
Suicide, slingshot over, directly down on to Bashir, just crashing into the Sheik. And
oh my God! See, I don't even think Suicide was the legal man, and here he's doing these kind of things. You can see Bashir severely injured. Obviously, that's the kind of cheap shots that people take at these guys, and you can see now that the guns and lethal consequences upset with Suicide in his action.
yeah, that's the cheap shot that I'm talking about. The interference, 4-on-1. How could you call that a cheap shot by Suicide? The slingshot move down on Bashir, and Bashir's obviously hurt his leg, hurt his ankle. Daniels and Kiyoshi to square off, and Daniels takes him and drives him right down to the canvas. Gonna motion into the BME, best moonsault ever, but here comes Shane Douglas in again, and he just hit him with the chain, the knockout blow by Douglas.
I'll tell you what, when you got a point to make, you'll make the point no matter what. And look, it's struggling through the pain. Bashir gets referee Slick Johnson in there to make the count.
Kiyoshi and Sheik Abdul-Bashir.
Struggling through the pain. That's a miracle recovery if you buy into struggling through the pain. Let's take another look at what just went down.
Well, you can see Bashir's ankle swelling up, and that gave Shane Douglas an opportunity to make this point that he's trying to make with Daniels as Kiyoshi gets the pin. But the bottom line is, as you see the celebration with the British invasion and the unity that they show.
Did you miss the Motor City Machine Guns and